Good day to you, Lions fans. As of yesterday, March the 31st, I saw last night that the Lions have brought in another free agent. They have signed former Pittsburgh Steelers safety Chuck Clark. Now, Chuck Clark is coming in to help not only solidify that secondary, but he is coming in to be honest with you, possibly be a big part of that secondary, because as we've talked about recently, we don't know when Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch are both going to be ready to go. When they are ready to go, are they going to be the players they were and back at full strength? So let's look at this art a little bit. I'm on Proud of Detroit, and it's talking about how the Lions have signed a high character safety. And Chuck Clark, it says the Lions continue to fortify their secondary depth in free agency. They announced that they signed free agent Chuck Clark. Now, it goes on to talk about that Clark was a 6th-round pick in 2017. He started as a special teamer. He eventually worked his way into the starting lineup in Baltimore. In his third year, he started 12 games, and for the next 3 seasons, he was a full-time starter for the Ravens. But entering the final year of his contract with the Ravens, he was traded away to the Jets in 2023, where his career hit a snag. Now, I do remember Chuck with the Ravens. I don't really remember him with the Jets. He said he would miss the entire season with a torn ACL, suffering in the offseason. And upon returning in 2024, Clark started 12 games, but had 2 stints on IR, one for an ankle injury and one for a torn pectoral muscle. This past year, he was with the Steelers. He started 5 games as a reserve and took on special team role with 189 snaps. Then it goes on to talk about in total, Clark brings 80 starts of experience and versatility. I'm jumping all the way down here. It says that Clark enters a safety competition that has more questions than answers, with Kirby Joseph dealing with a lingering knee injury and Brian Branch recovering from a torn Achilles. The Lions starting spots could be up for grabs in week 1. Well, it pretty much probably will be. Joining Clark in the competition is Thomas Harper, Dan Jackson, Lauren Strickland, and newly signed Christian Izien. But Clark has far more experience than the rest of the group and could provide more reliability and stability to a position that is currently lacking that. So, sorry about that. So this is what the Lions are bringing in. They are bringing in a safety with experience, a safety that could start. And to be honest with you, they're bringing him in at a bargain. No, I don't know the details of the contract, but 3 weeks into free agency, when you're still signing guys, these are not the high-end guys or the high-price guys. These are guys that you're getting at a budget price. And, that seems to be Brad Holmes' thing. He likes him a good budget deal. We know that. We come to expect that about Brad Holmes, that he likes a good budget deal. And I'm willing to bet that this is a low risk, signing. Chuck is probably on a 1-year deal. If he gets hurt, no harm, no foul. That's kind of the thing that I think is going on with that. But for what it's worth, they're bringing in someone else who could possibly add a depth or play a major role. And if nothing else, he can serve on special teams. So that's all I really have on Chuck Clark. But I do want to jump in and say something about Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker is still out there, and I am curious if there's a chance that he and the Lions can reconcile. I read earlier today that the Lions, just like they did with Calvin Johnson, and that relationship was fractured for years, the Lions are asking for his signing bonus back. So it sounds like sorry, I said Taylor Decker. I was thinking about Frank Ragnow. Sorry about that, guys. I'm saying Taylor Decker. I meant Frank Ragnow. Sorry about that. Frank Ragnow. Now, Frank Ragnow has been a proud Lion from the moment he came into the moment he retired early in 2025. But now the Lions are asking for his signing bonus back. So are the Lions also looking to damage the relationship with another all-time great Lion? Calvin Johnson is an all-time great NFL player and a Lion. And Frank Ragnow, some may not consider him to be an all-time great, but he definitely is an all-time great Lion. And asking for that bonus back could actually make him salty with the Lions, and he may not want to come around and help the team, kind of like Calvin did for a while. And it took the Lions quite a bit of time to rebuild their relationship with Calvin Johnson. So I want to jump in and give my thoughts on that. Well, Lions fans, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on bringing in Chuck, do you think that the Lions are, do you think that Brad Holmes is, doing what Brad Holmes always does, and that is, looking for a bargain, maybe looking for a guy with a chip on his shoulder, what have you? And what do you think about Frank Ragnow? Should the Lions keep the relationship intact and let him keep his signing bonus, or due to the fact that he retired kind of unknowingly, should he be giving the Lions back that signing bonus so they can use that money elsewhere? All right, give us your thoughts on it. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and give us your thoughts on Frank Ragnow and his signing bonus. And what do you think about the Lions bringing in Chuck Clark? That's all for this one. Until next time, peace.